Hey, family, Pastor Willingham here, talking a little bit about some principles of forgiveness. I'm looking at the story of Joseph, the dreamer, Genesis 50th chapter, verses 14 through 21. And we'll see this story when it comes full circle, and that Joseph, you know, has to be okay with where he is, where he ends up after so many things happen. And we have to be okay in terms of preparing ourselves to forgive others. We have to be okay with where we are, at the current time, because Joseph had been placed in the pit. And when he was pulled out of the pit, he was sold into slavery. And when he got into the master's house, he was falsely accused by the master's wife and put in prison. Once he got into prison, he helped some people who forgotten him when they got out of prison, and he stayed in prison an extra 2 years before he got out, before he interpreted the dream of Pharaoh that led him to becoming the second in command in Egypt when things come full circle and his brothers have to come back to him for help. He's okay where he is because everything that's happened in his life had to happen to get him into the place of power that God wanted him in. And it's the same for you, that although, you've come from the pit, you've come from the prison like Joseph, but Joseph went from the pit and from the prison to the palace. And so, God brings us from our pits. He brings us from our prisons. He brings us into our palace. And when we come into that place, we've got to be okay. We've got to be okay and say, hey, I can see why all the things that have happened in my life have happened and has brought me to this place. And without these things, I wouldn't be who I am. And so now I can prepare myself to forgive. And so have a great day, family. And I'll talk to you soon. God bless you. Bye-bye.